Well, our community conversations continue. I'm glad for the opportunity to talk with Jim Wolfe today. Jim has been CEO of Avalon Tahoe since 2004. That has been a period of incredible growth for the company. We're delighted it's housed, headquartered right here in Alma, Michigan, producing 5,000 boats a year. It's now the third largest pontoon boat maker, I suppose, Jim, in the world. It's incredible.
Yep, most of the pontoon boats are all made right here in the United States. We're currently number 3 right now, so we're very proud of that. You know, all those early years, we're number 10, 11, 12, and then we just started moving up the ladder. So,
well,
right here in Alma, Michigan.
All of us in Alma, Michigan take great pride in that, and that you all have committed to Alma, and you're right here. Seeing those boats out on the highway, I just get a special feeling that, hey, that's a boat built right here in Alma.
Yeah, it's been great. So we really enjoy being here. It's a great community, a great city for a business to grow it the way we have. And, the community's been extremely supportive.
So how are you and your family doing as we shelter in place?
Well, I think I was one of the lucky ones. I went to Florida for 4 days and I stayed for 6 weeks. So that's when things started getting a little bit crazy here. So I just kind of sheltered in place at my spot down there. So they're a little more lax, but it was still the same. Had to stay inside for the most part. I do have a porch though, so it was nice to work out there and kind of be out of the weather anyways. So I was very fortunate in that respect. But we're all doing well. We're safe, doing our part to, wash our hands and stay away from others and stop the spread.
Well, we are glad to have you back in Michigan, certainly, and the company's up and running again, correct?
Yes, as of last week, we're back 100%. I think we probably had 6 or 7 employees out of 400 that did not come back for one reason or another. Could have been childcare, or they may be in the vulnerable group, so to speak. So, but we are up and running. The week prior to that, we brought back more of our essential workers, so we were at 40%. So this is our 3rd week, and we hope to get back to full strength here this week.
Of course, you're dependent on those relationships with dealers across the country as well. Are they up and running, or is the industry really recovered?
Yeah, I think boating, there's been some publications, just kind of the word on the street is that boating is going to do fairly well through this economic downturn. Just because of the social distancing and the nature of the virus, people want to be social distance, but yet they want to be with their family. So they're looking for alternatives instead of going on that Disney vacation or, a trip to Europe, or even rentals for that matter. Right now rentals are kind of shut down still, but a boat, you can just put it in the water and go, and you're with your family. And our boats are nice and they're big enough, so you can maintain a lot of distance if you have other friends on board too.
You toured me through your factory here about 6 months ago. It's an incredible space, what you've done. Tell us about the growth over the recent years, just of the factory space itself.
Yeah, well, for the past 3 or 4 years, we've really been growing once again and just trying to keep up with demand. It took a long time to kind of get the foundation laid once again for this company to go on this growth spurt, but now that people see our boats out there, they know they're very well made. We're vertically integrated, which means we make most of our components here in-house and do our own shipping. And we try to control the whole process. So dealers really do appreciate that as compared to other builders that may not be as accommodating or as strong or have as good of a product. And that's part of the reason why we keep moving up. So really the worst thing we can do is to deny people that want to buy an Avalon pontoon or a Tahoe pontoon that boat. So it's been our goal and our objective to continue growing. And that means adding buildings, adding space, equipment, and more importantly, people.
So the site you are on, of course, is the old Republic truck site. That was the biggest truck maker in the country, in the world, I think, in the teens. What does it mean to have that history?
Well, there is a lot of history here. And as we refurbished that last building back there, that was their original warehouse for Republic Truck. And they were the largest truck manufacturer in the world right after the war. And after that, a Winnebago company bought it. So they made RVs here. And that was the largest RV company in the world. and maybe someday we'll be the largest boat company in the world. But and anyways, there is a lot of history on this space, and it's kind of fun to go back and look at some of those pictures. And we have uncovered a lot of their old foundation in our construction projects. That's for sure. You never know if you're going to hit out here, what you're going to find.
It's just incredible to think of that echo that Republic Trucks was that important driver of the Alma economy at the beginning of the 20th, and certainly Avalon and Tahoe is a critical driver of our economy locally for the 21st. So here we are in global recession, Jim, and you've been through this before. How does what we're seeing now compared to what you experienced after 2008?
Well, I think we're still all hopeful as business leaders that it is going to be maybe not short-lived, but the shutdown will be short-lived. It did kind of come out of left field. In hindsight, I look back and I was at the Minneapolis Boat Show, and we had just won the Innovation Award for a new product we have out called the Wake Tune. So we really haven't taken that to market yet, but I just remember kind of starting to see some things on the news, like it might come to the United States, and you didn't really think it was a big deal. And 2 weeks later, they're shutting down boat shows, they're shutting down the country, they're shutting down businesses. And as an entrepreneur and as someone that wants to keep moving forward, to sit down and have our hands tied for that period of time, and it's for the right reasons. Obviously, public health comes first. And hopefully we can get through this. We're learning here at the company, and we've worked really hard to make sure that we're doing what we can to protect our people, to provide a safe environment. And hopefully we can all get back to business and have our employees safe and not contribute to any widespread spread. And hopefully we've at least accomplished the goal of taking the pressure off of the medical community and the hospitals, so they don't get overrun. And we'll see what happens. And shutting down again will be as painful as the first time, for sure. Because this, couldn't have happened at a worse time for us as a business in the marine world. We're coming into Memorial Day here, and everyone that bought all those boats over the winter, they want to have their boats by Memorial Day. We always make these commitments, and here we were shutting down during our busiest month of the year, which is April. So last April, we had record sales, record profits, and this April, it was essentially zero. So, but we are a strong team here at Avalon and Tahoe. The employees understand, and we're all on the same page. And, it's not lost, that's for sure. I mean, we do more in a month or two than we used to do in a whole year back in the old days. So, if you put it into perspective, realize we're all going to get through this together. And I think some of the other businesses, the restaurants and, the gyms and some of those other things that are not open yet, but want to be, and they may not have the staying power, unfortunately. And it's up to us as a community and as citizens in this area to make sure that we are trying to utilize their services, whatever they may be, and to support our local companies on their way back up and back into business here.
Yeah, it was certainly heartening to see both ABC and Braveheart, last week out there serving on the sidewalks and doing what they can to get it back on here. We've got a lot of momentum in Alma, and want to recapture that and get moving on the path to thriving.
Definitely. I mean, to go from such a strong environment, right? I mean, from the stock market to the economy to you can't find enough people to hire to 14-15% unemployment. They say it might be going to 20. And I think we can recover quickly. I'm very optimistic, at least in our industry. So as the largest private employer here in town, all of our employees, we went through a couple of weeks of uncertainty there.
Right.
But we got up and running quickly, and they know what's on the line. And all of our associates, they step up, and we're a good team here, and we're going to make it happen and satisfy all of our customers and come out stronger on the other side.
So what does the floor look like in comparison to what I saw just a few months ago? Plastic sheet, everybody's wearing masks, I can see that, but what else have you done?
Well, some of the things we've done, we take everyone's temperature on the way into the facility every day. So no touch thermometers. So that's step number one. Obviously, we tell our employees if they're running a fever, we encourage them to do home testing before they leave their homes. And I actually had my 6-month checkup here last Friday, and a very good doctor, and he said 99% of the time this virus starts with a fever. So if you have a fever of upper 99 or 100 or 101, that's when you need to self quarantine and stay away from other people because you may have it.
Well, it's terrific. You're back up and open and keeping everybody safe at the same time. And congratulations on that innovation award. I was reading about that, and you were indicating a few months ago that this was coming. So tell us a little bit about this Tuneable Wake. I'm an aspiring wakeboarder, Jim.
Well, I guess it's the new craze. Back in the day, I remember when they came out with knee boards, and that was the big thing. So I started knee boarding and the slalom skiing, but nowadays it's all about wake surfing. That's where they go close to the back of the boat, and they have a nice wave, and they can surf behind it. It's been a very up and coming industry. A lot of boats being sold, and for probably the past 5 or 6 years, our dealers have been asking if we could ever have a pontoon boat that you could wake surf behind. Boy, wouldn't that be great? So we put a lot of work and development into that. Came out with a great product. It has no ballast, which is really the first in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
All the other guys fill up big tanks and make their boats really heavy, but our guys here have figured out a way to make a pontoon shape that actually throws a wave. And then we partner with Volvo, so it's a forward facing drive, which kind of pulls the back of the boat down. So it's, once again, pontoons are so versatile. Now you can have a pontoon boat that not only can you just cruise around and have all the benefits of that nice big platform, but now you can take your kids and your grandkids wake surfing too. So now it's going to be cool for them to get on a pontoon boat.
The cool factor has been a challenge, but you've achieved it. The tri-tunes have been a part of that as well, right? That's a big innovation.
Oh, for sure. That was, kind of, I guess, 2006, 7, 8. In that time period, they started coming on with the tri-tunes, and now they make up over 50% of our volume. Okay. So it just provides a lot more stability. You can get larger engines on it. The performance is every bit as good as any kind of V-hull boat out there, and better. So I love being in some rough chop, and you go flying by the guy in his V-hull, open bow boat, and they're bouncing around like rag dolls, and we're just all stable on the pontoon boat and skipping on by. So it's really a great ride. And we put a lot of work over the years into our understructure and the performance, and it's just a all around great boat. Very versatile.
So you've done a whole lot of marketing projects out there, adventuring in your boats from Lake Superior to, I believe, Gulf of Mexico, and many points in between and beyond. What's next?
Kind of my dream, a fantasy of mine has always been Alaska. So I think that's going to be our next trip. We wanted to do it this summer, and it still may happen. We'll see how things are going. It's been all hands on deck to get the business up and running again, and not a whole lot of time for throwing a quick trip together, but thinking about going from Seattle or maybe Vancouver, up into Juneau and that area up there by the state parks. And I just think it'd be great from a marketing perspective to see a pontoon boat floating there with a whale tail next to it, or snow-capped mountains and all the beautiful stuff. I've never been to Alaska, so kind of self-serving and selfish in that regard, but I think our boats will hold up just fine, and probably be a long, cold trip, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's incredible. Well, it's again, Avalon Tahoe, a point of pride for all of us here in mid-Michigan and in Alma. Jim, well, thank you for all you do for this community. Congratulations on the great success.
Thank you so much. We're very proud to be here, associated with the city of Alma and the state of Michigan. So proud to manufacture here, and just want to throw a thanks out to all of our great employees and everyone that benefits from us being here. We're trying to do the right thing, trying to give back, and everyone can win when you're associated with Avalon and Tahoe.
A great company and great relationship with this community. You all be safe and be well, and look forward to seeing everybody back up in the community very, very soon.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Great speaking with you today.
Likewise, Jim. Take care.
Thanks.